Good morning, everyone. I welcome respected director, dear colleagues and friends for this yoga session, which we are hosting on behalf of Fit India Movement campaign for the Government of India. Now, today we are going to start the yoga session with the mantra.
सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Welcome again. This session we are starting with the basic yoga programs that we are going to do it. I have with me Professor Alananda Prabhu and Professor Anshuman Asarika and our coordinators Shiv Pratap Verma and Nawal Singh sir and our IT support members. With that, we are going to start the session. So to start with, the first Yogasana, we call it as the Padmasana, which is nothing but a lotus pose. So I will show how to do that, and then we will look at what are all the benefits of it. So the posture for that goes like this. Okay. Now you can keep your legs stretched, sit straight, keeping your spinal cord straight, and then bring forward your right leg onto the left thigh. So whenever you take your leg, you have to keep one hand on the heel of the leg and the other hand on the foot, and then fold it close to your stomach. And now the other leg also, you can fold it accordingly and then hold it. So if you are feeling it very difficult in doing it, just keep even one leg, right? So one can keep like this as well. This we call it as an Ardha Padmasana. Now if we are going to keep both the legs, then we are going to call that as the full Padmasana. Now I wanted all of you to have a breathing, the normal breathing for 30 counts. Like you can inhale and exhale. 1. You can keep your hands in any mudra that you wanted. It can be Sin mudra if you are going to keep it, or else you can keep it relaxed like this, or even you can keep your hands like this. So you can keep it in Sin mudra and then have a normal breathing with 1 to 30 counts. So you can keep counting mentally, or you can keep reciting your words as well. So the main purpose is to do the breathing. So you have to inhale and exhale consistently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 27, 28, 29, 30. So the main practice of this is to start breathing, that is inhaling and exhaling here. But the main benefit of this posture is, you can see on the slide that we have listed out, that it increases your body balance with your breathing and all that. So now with that, we will move on to the next posture, where we are going to start with the body raising. So I'm going to classify the postures into 4 sets, something which is called as supine asanas. Then the next one I'm going to do is prone asanas. Then the next is sitting, and the last one is the standing postures. So with the first one, we will start with the supine asanas, which is nothing but your body raising or the hip rising thing. How we are going to do is just lie flat on the surface, and then bring your legs close to your body, and then just raise your body like this. It is kind of a plank which you have it. Just raise your hip and then be on this posture for a 30 counts. Generally, start doing this for 2 times at least. at home, when you are practicing, you can do this for a 5 set, like 5 times you can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 27, 28, 29, 30. So you can slowly relax and then stretch your leg. So this is the first breathing exercise or the body stretching exercise. One need to do it regularly with starting your yoga. Now we will slowly move on from this posture to the next posture, which is the body raising. So we are trying to sit like when you go to a beach, you relax like this. So sit like this, then bring your toes, your legs close together, and then bring it like this, like close to your body, and raise your body just like this. So, and be on this state, and you can keep counting 30 and then keep breathing. That is what is main thing. You have to have always your normal breathing, right? Relax, stretch your legs back, and then come to the normal posture. We can move on to the next pose. This is again a supine asana. That means we are going to lie flat on the surface, facing the sky, and then do it. So for this posture, we are going to lie flat on the surface again, and then we are going to raise one leg over, after the other. Now we can raise our right leg to 30 degree and then be on the normal breathing for 30 counts. Now, generally, I keep telling the yoga as a MBA session. Okay. Now we know yoga means unite. Unite is the meaning of the original word yoga, which is arrived from Sanskrit. Yes, sir. You can let down your leg. You can raise the other leg. So what is that unite we are going to do is we are going to unite our mind, body, and the Atma, which is the soul. So that's why I call it as an MBA, right? Okay. You can bring it down, sir. Now, having done with the right and the left leg, now we can try to lift both the legs together, keeping it close at the 30 degree. If you can, please try, sir. At the 30 degree, that will do. And then be on a normal breathing. Please always breathe only through your nose. You can bring it down. Now, I will be calling Professor Arulananda Prabhu for showing the next posture of the same one. So please join. Now, the same posture, you have to lie flat on the surface and you are going to raise both your legs together to 90 degree and be on normal breathing again. Now, the next posture is what I'm trying to show here, which is the Sarvangasana. So here, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to lift my body straight. My chest will touch close to my chin and then be on normal breathing for 50 counts or 30 counts. Your legs, everything should be straight, facing the sky, right from your hip, from your, this pose, we call it as a shoulder stand or a shoulder pose, where your entire body lies with the shoulder alone and your head on the flat on the surface. Now when you are relaxing, slowly relax your body and then lie down slowly on the surface and then always relax like this and have a normal breathe in and breathe out. Now whenever you are going to get up, so what we are going to do is you are going to lean your hand on the sideways and then slowly rise up. So what is that the Sarvangasana does is it improves your overall health, but blood circulation, it improves your digestion, and mainly it cures your back pain and strengthens your spinal cord, right? Now, the next thing we can go is we have an other supine asana, which we call it as the boat pose. Okay, we are just lying here. So how are we going to do it again? Just give a push. And then on the pose for as long as you want. If someone finds it very difficult, then you can hold your legs like this as well. This one is called as the Naukasana or the boat pose. Okay, now we will move on to the next pose. what we are trying to do is first, I'm trying to bring one leg and then my chin on the kneecap, right? And then be on the normal breathing. Now, again, I'm going to repeat the same thing with another leg and then have a normal breathing as well. All these poses, you need not do it so fastly, okay? You have to do it at a very relaxed phase. What I'm trying to do finally is once I do it with both the legs individually, I'm going to raise both my legs together and bring my chin close to my knees. Before going to the prone asanas, whenever we feel that we wanted to relax, so what we do is we do a savasana for shifting ourselves from, that is switching over from one asana to the other asana. In savasana, as I already said in the corpse pose, what we do is we relax our body and hand, everything stretched straight, and then facing the sky, and then have a normal breathing for 10 counts, right? So I will try and do the same pose again, so which we call it as the cobra pose. And then keep your body so relaxed like this. Bring your arms close to your shoulders. Then keep your chin like this. Raise up your body looking into the ceiling or the sky. You can slowly relax and bring your body to the surface. With that, we will move on to the next pose. We have here as Salabhasana, otherwise we call it as grasshopper pose or locust pose. First 1 to 30 degree for a 30 count. Be on a 30 count, normal, relaxing, and then keep breathing. And move on to the next pose, which we call it as Makrasana. Now again, I call Professor Arulananda Prabhu. So now what you can do is bring your right arm close to your left armpit, right? Keep your right arm close to your left armpit, and then bring your left arm to your right shoulder and put your face in between the gap, and then keep your legs wide apart and then relax. So this is one of the relaxing pose for the prone asanas. Now we are moving to the sitting postures, which we call it as twisted pose, otherwise called as Vakrasana. Now Professor Anshuman Azarika is showing us how to do it. So he sits on a perfect posture, keeping his body straight and then keeping his legs close together. And now you can bring your right leg close to the left knee, right? So then now you can bring your left arm close, holding your right leg, right? And then keep your right hand plumb on the backwards, looking backwards, and look at the shoulder and be on a normal breathing. So this is the usual pose which most of the saints follow for their exercise and all that. This was actually invented by Bharadwaja Muni. So later this has become a modified form and then they call it as Vakrasana. We will move on to the next pose. Okay, this is the Matsyasana, which is called as the fish pose. Now, what I'm trying to show here is, you remember we have done a Padmasana in the very beginning, right? We are going to do the same thing. I'm going to stretch my legs straight and then bring my right leg close to my thighs and left thigh, and then take my left leg and keep all over my right thigh, and then I'm going to be on this Padmasana pose. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to use my hands as a stand and then bend back. So I'm going to do like this, and then slowly I'm going to lie down flat on the surface. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands again behind. I'm going to keep it behind my shoulders, and then I'm going to lift my head little bit. So here I'm going to do it like this, and then my legs, my head is flat on the surface, and I'm touching the toes of both the legs, and be on normal breathing. This is, you can be on this pose for as much as 50 count generally, and be on a normal breathing for 50 counts. This gives you relaxation to your neck, all the nerves there, and then to the shoulder and all that. So you can slowly raise up, keeping your hands as the support, and then come to the normal Padmasana pose. We will move on to the next pose. So this is the Vajrasana. So many of us, we should have done this exercise from birth. When you see during our childhood, many kids used to sit on this pose only. Sit like this on a kneel, and then sit relaxed on both the legs, and keep your buttocks just in between your legs, and then keep your hands straight like this. Bring your head, that is your forehead, close to the surface, and tie your hands back like this, what Professor Prabhu is showing, and then be on a normal breathing, right? So this pose, we call it as a child pose, or you can even bring your hands close to your head and then lie down closely. Yeah, like this is like what we do namas in the mosque and all that, right? So be on a relaxed pose. So all this religion, they have all these poses only for our health benefit. You can slowly raise up inhaling. So remember, whenever we raise up, we inhale. Whenever we bend our head, we exhale. Now we do have a Kapalabhati Kriya. We can all try together, just folding your legs normally. This we call it as the Sukhasana. Okay. Always remember, whenever we do yoga or meditation, our spinal cord should be straight, right? That is your backbone. Always keep it straight. And then what you are trying to do is we are going to just practice breathe in and breathe out. That's a small, easy technique. So breathe in and breathe out. That is inhale, exhale. Now, when you're going to do that, slowly increase the speed of that. So how do I do it? This practice, you can do it every day in the day, and that is in the morning and in the evening. This we call it as Kapalabhati Kriya. So whichever pose is convenient to you, you can either sit in this Sukhasana, or even you can sit in this Vajrasana pose, what we have done it earlier, and sit relax. So do it at this pace. Now on day one itself, we don't get that speed. So if you are going to do it every day, then it is easy to get into this practice. Now we have come to this sun salutation pose. So sun salutation pose, I will try and show it. Now we know the name sun salutation is given because we are trying to give a respect to the nature here, that is to the sun. So first thing I do is I start with a prayer pose like this, and then have a normal breathing. I said whenever we are going to raise, we are going to inhale. Now I am going to raise my body back, inhaling and stretching my backbone just like that, and keeping my hands back and be on normal breathing. And from there, I'm going to exhale and then bend to my toes, okay? And then put my head close to my knees, and then I'm going to be on normal breathing. With that, I'm going to come to a running pose by keeping my right leg forward and bringing my left leg back. So this is the running pose that I have. In this also you can be on normal breathing. Next to that, I'm going to bring my right leg also backwards and be on a plank pose and be on a normal breathing for 30 counts. In this picture, they have given the mountain pose, but rather I will tell you, you can go to this pose as well. Just moving to this, we call it as a child pose. From this, I'm trying to move on to something called Ashtangasana. Go back to the cobra pose like this and then be on the normal breathing thing, right? And again, I'm going to go for the mountain pose, which they call it differently. They call it as dog pose or a mountain pose, and then be on a normal breathing. Here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring as much as close, you're bringing your body close to your legs, right? And keep your head down and then be on the mountain pose. Again, you can come back to the child pose like this. Now, we started with the right leg. So I'm going to bring my left leg for the running pose again and then be on a normal breathing. And then bring both my legs together and then be on this pose and then inhaling, raising up and then come to the prayer pose, right? So you can relax for some time like this and then we can repeat again. Now generally one have to do this sun salutation pose for 6 times in a day, like in the morning 3 and 3 you can practice it. Now, this pose, I'm going to show the Savasana. After we complete all this yoga poses, what we are trying to do is we are going to relax it. Right now, how do we go about relaxing ourselves? We can lie flat on the surface and then uh, practice it. What we are trying to do here is going to stretch our body, hands, looking everything looking to the sky, right? Keep your palms looking to the sky, keep your legs wide apart, breathe it normally. Now what I'm trying to do is with the savasana, I'm not only asking you to breathe in a relaxed pose, I'm also asking you to concentrate on the body parts that I'm going to say, right? Whatever parts I'm going to say, sometimes some of us have a praying mantra, right? Irrespective of the religion, we have some praying mantra within ourselves, right? So whatever body part I'm going to tell, please recall that mantra and then relax yourself. Like someone wants to say Om Shanti, you can say Shiva, Shiva Shiva, or Jesus Christ, whatever you wanted to keep it as your mantra, keep it. And I will keep calling the body part and you can recall the mantra in your mind, right? Now, let me start with the toes. Just concentrate on your toes, right? Your heel, legs, knees, thighs, hips, stomach, chest, your forearms, shoulder, neck, forehead. Just be relaxed on this pose so you can see the stress getting released on each and every body part that we are calling out. Yoga is not only body, it is also with your mind and all your emotions, right? So all that get relaxed here. So this is the Savasana pose. Thank you, professors. You can raise up by keeping your hands on the sidewards and then get up. Thank you, sir. So here we are going to the next pose, which is our standing pose, or we call it as the Virchasana or the tree pose. You can raise up here, you can keep your legs as it is shown in the picture, like you can bring your right leg close to your thighs like this and then stand. And now once you stand, you can raise up like this. Now the other way to do it is, you can also bring your legs like this, twist what we do it for our Padmasana and all that, and stand like this and then stand flat and be on a praying pose. So this can be done it as a jointly also. You can hold your hands together and then do it as well. Or if you have a partner to do it, you can do it as a joint asana or a couple asana, or you can do it with your single leg. Now relax your hand, come back. Now you can try it with the other leg as well. That is all these asanas, we have to try it with both the legs together. Now having done with our right leg, I'm trying to do it my left leg as well, and then be on the praying posture. So this is the stage that we are planning to close our session. I wanted to again thank our director for initiating this program. That is, we as a IIM Ranchi, the three faculty, myself, Naresh, Professor Arlananda Prabhu from Operations, and Professor Anshuman Hazarika from General Management. And first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Shiv Pratap Verma for bringing this event. And I should take privilege in thanking our IT support who are there early in the morning for us, and every other support members, Mr. Naval Singh and all. Thank you again. We will hope to see you all soon with the next series of session. Thank you. Tell me, sir, are there any questions?
Yes, sir. Any yoga you recommend for the COVID crisis?
Yoga for COVID crisis. Okay. So what we generally advise for doing a yoga for COVID crisis is do the breathing exercise, that the Kapalabhati that I am trying to show it. We did it with the Padmasana pose, or with the Vajrasana pose, or even the jumping pose that we have shown. So Kapalabhati Kriya is the best one. Whether you know yoga or not, that is not the criteria there. That can be practiced by anyone. It is a simple breathing exercise. So I sincerely advise every one of us to practice that. We might be doing, but the inhaling and exhaling, we are not doing it to the full core, right? So these yoga poses will motivate us to breathe to the full extent, because we know our lungs don't get the fresh air as much as possible. So only these exercises are going to help us, right? So I would say Kapalabhati, that will be the best thing. Or do all this basic yoga postures, because many a times you will find that we are not doing many of the yoga poses at all. This way we will try to activate our body, mind, and our soul, in fact. So that's what I said. It's an MBA course, like mind, body, and your Atman getting activated in an hour of time. Is that is fine, Mr.
Thank you,
Balakrishna?
sir.
You are welcome.